Well, as we said, all eyes will be, of course, on the Proteas this weekend as they push for a series lead in the first test against England. Digital sports editor Ashfak Mohamed joins us this morning as we look ahead of the cricket as well as other standout fixtures of the sporting weekend ahead of us. And a very exciting weekend it is indeed. First day yesterday. We took 5 wickets at stumps at the end of the day. But, of course, that being day one of a test series, you can't really say too much about what will happen over the next couple of days, especially with the weather. But what did you make of the first day of Proteas versus England?
Yeah, after the first session, looked like the Proteas were really on top there. Vernon Philander moving the ball both ways, seaming it around. The first morning of the English summer sort of their test season, and we thought England would be bowled out by tea. But then afterwards, the afternoon came and the wicket flattened out, and Joe Root took full advantage of 3 lives in the end. He was dropped on 5 on the boundary when he hooked Kagiso Rabada. The fielder just came too far in from the rope. Then on 16 at Gully, a sharp chance to JP Duminy. He whacked it outside off and just went through his hands, and he took full advantage. So Joe Root continued the English captain new tradition of scoring 100 in his first match as a captain. The last 4 captains now have done it. But then on 149, he was again given a reprieve where Keshav Maharaj beat him outside off. He was stumped, but it was a no ball, a left-arm spinner bowling a no-ball cap. I mean, really now.
Unheard of. Absolutely unheard of.
Morne Morkel also bowled a no-ball when he took a wicket off Ben Stokes. So just things went pear-shaped afterwards for the Proteas.
Yeah, and with Joe Root having so much to prove on himself as the new Test captain for England and being given so many chances, how do you possibly see this playing out in the rest of the Test match? Because he could then go on to just destroy that entire first innings, making it almost near impossible for us.
Yeah, look, the Proteas have to wrap up this innings very quickly when they come out today. I think if they can keep them to about 400, 420 odd, they'll still be in the game. But anything more than that, then we're playing for the draw, yeah.
Absolutely. And coming out of, a very disappointing ICC Champions Trophy, do you think that that is playing at the back of the minds of our players? And how will that pan out, especially with the new captain right now here? Of course, that we have as a Proteas captain.
I think going into the day it might have, but I think that a good start sort of settled the nerves a bit, and it really looked like they were back.
Yeah.
So it was just a pity that Root got those lives. I mean, if he had to be out for 5 or 6, it could have been a totally different story.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can hit back with a bat.
What's that famous cricket saying? Catches win matches.
Yeah. Proven.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that the British and Irish Lions will be hoping for a repeat of last week's performance against New Zealand. Of course, that's one of the biggest matchups of this coming weekend as they look to close this series 2-1. But there's been a lot of, I don't want to call it negative report from the British media, but they're not really taking that, last week's victory as such a big victory. It's like, the guys have given themselves a chance, and now they've got to face up again against the might of the All Blacks, and hopefully 15 men versus 15 men this time around.
Yeah.
How do you see it playing out, and what's the series been like for you?
Yeah, I think that's an important point you made about 15 against 15, because I think if Sanibal Williams wasn't sent off last week, it might have been a different result. As well as the Lions are playing, they're getting under the skin of the All Blacks, in their faces, disrupting their lineouts and scums and things like that. But if the All Blacks had stayed full team throughout the 80 minutes, different story. And the All Blacks have always shown last 15, 20 minutes, that's when they win games. They've broken Springbok hearts many times over the years, just at the last 5 minutes. So I think the Lions might have to engineer something there again for another red card.
Tell me, do you think that, other than, the 16th man on the stands, do you think rugby teams go into a matchup against the All Blacks with that mentality that they are so tough? And not to kind of overestimate your enemy at all, but they somehow have a mental block that the All Blacks are unbeatable. Do you think they have that? And that also plays out in the results.
They definitely have that aura, winning World Cups back-to-back. You can count almost on your 2 hands how many games they've lost over the last 10 years. Just a remarkable record. I think their winning percentage is like 85, 87%.
Unbelievable.
It's just crazy, it's unheard of. So when you have that kind of record preceding you, the players that they have, they've got 3 Barrett brothers now. We all thought Bowden is one enough, but now they've got Jordie Barrett at fullback, and another brother, Scott Barrett, on the bench. And Jordie at fullback, I can tell you that boy can play.
Absolutely. Well, maybe the players really aren't telling us the truth that the haka is the intimidating factor. When you
Yeah,
get that.
yeah, no, true.
Botswana.
Kat, if I just may just send a condolences to the family of Sally Fredericks, a former great Saru legend and captain. He passed away yesterday, one of the true legends of South African rugby.
Thank you very, very much, Ashfak, and thank you for giving us the roundup of what we can expect over the weekend, full of sport. And of course, follow all of your sporting action. Share your thoughts with us using #ExpressoShow.